The Siege of Malta is probably one of the most underrated battles of the Second World War, and whoever controls Malta controls the Mediterranean, and it was key to the Allies' war effort in the Mediterranean, of course. And the reason why it's so important is firstly, its natural harbours, and where it's situated as well. It's situated 60 miles from Sicily, and it is right in the centre of the Mediterranean, between Gibraltar and Alexandria, two important British naval bases. In the 1930s, there's barely any talks or any concrete plans on how to defend Malta if a war kicked off. And it was only till 1939, when the Pact of Steel was signed between Italy and Germany, they started to really think about the defence of Malta. However, it just never really got the resources it needed, and as soon as Italy entered the war, they attacked Malta straight away. Steel is signed, it is agreed that the British will send over 112 heavy anti-aircraft guns, 60 light aircraft guns, 24 searchlights, and 4 fighter squadrons. However, by June 1940, they don't barely have any of this. They're short of 78 heavy anti-aircraft guns, short of 38 light anti-aircraft guns, and they barely have any planes. They have a couple of Fairey Swordfish planes, and they only get some Gloucester Gladiators just in time, and they've only got 4 of these, and with the Gloucester Gladiators they can only put 2 in the air at one time. They can't put all 4 in. The first Italian attack comes on the 11th of June 1940, and it does do a bit of damage to Malta, of course, and Britain has a lot of their anti-aircraft guns in the old bastions in Malta. These bastions held out against Suleiman the Magnificent back in the 16th century. But back to the Second World War, and on the 21st of June 1940, some more Gloucester Gladiators come, but only 2 more. And by the end of July, the Italians have lost 12 planes, and the British have only lost 1 plane. It isn't just the Italian Air Force the British have got to worry about, it's also the Italian Navy. The Italian Navy outnumber the British in the Mediterranean during this time in the war. For example, on submarines, the Italians have 115 compared to the British's 14 submarines. However, the Italian Navy is not as well trained, and it's not as advanced as the British Navy, or the Royal Navy I should say. But the British do something spectacular, and it's often compared to Pearl Harbor. They attack the Italian port of Taranto, and this destroys a lot of the Italian Navy's bigger ships, and they wouldn't have been able to do this without help from the ships on Malta. However, most of the ships involved were from the HMS Illustrious. If Malta's doing well, the British Army is doing well in North Africa, and this is because from Malta, the British can attack Italian supplies and Italian troop ships. But overall, by the end of 1940, Malta is doing a lot better. Defences are getting stronger, they're getting more planes. It's looking like a formidable fortress again.